Hey everybody, it's RCK again here to bring you back our next part review. We're going to be covering green on this one, of course, for Magic the Gathering, the Midnight Hunt. And of course, I'm joined again by my friend, Mr. Waffles, and he will introduce himself now.
I like the fact you said Mr. It's weird though. I'm gonna let you know.
Okay.
How's it going, guys? Waffles back again to help RCK with this whole review. Sorry we're a little behind here, but it is the Halloween season, so we might as well just stick with the standard issue and go through this set. But I think it's gonna be good. We're doing green today, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I do too. I really do too. To start us off, we have the Augur of Autumn. This is a 3 mana cost card, 1 colorless, 2 green. Is a human druid. You look at the top card of your library at any time. You play lands from the top card of your library. Very familiar to is it Prophet of Crufix, the Centaur, and there's one or two other cards very similar, but these have always been very, very good cards to play in green decks, of course. As long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creature spells from top of your library. Now this adds a lot of value.
It does.
You'll be able to cast. I mean, you won't be able to cast instant and sorceries, but you can cast lands. You can play lands. You can cast any creature. That has a lot of card advantage there.
It is. And let's think. I mean, it is a green card too, and green's known for casting a lot of big creatures. So this is a plus plus.
It definitely helps you ramp.
It
Gets
does.
you. It lets you find big creatures, and I mean, you might be able to chain off more than one depending on how many creatures are on top.
Especially if you can get Coven activated, which is a staple right now with this set. So yeah, you're gonna be playing this card. Definitely strive to get that Coven system started up and running, and this card is gonna be fantastic.
So next we have the Bounding Wolf. This is a 3 mana 3/2, 2 colorless, 1 green, and it has flash and reach. What do you think about this card here?
I like the fact it's a wolf, man. I don't see too many wolves out here, but with Innistrad's release, we got them all over the place. I'm loving it. I hate that it's not a changeling. Like, I hate that it doesn't transform, but I still think it'd be cool to have it in the deck just to say, you know what, here's another wolf for you. But they deal with this. But the fact that it has flash is great. I like anything that has flash. Anything that you can put out there, not on your turn, to kind of protect your life total is great, in my opinion. And it has reach. And you know how I feel about them flyers. So anything that has reach for me is always a thumbs up. But very simple card, 3 costs, 4, 3, 2, not bad, I think it's gonna be okay. I don't know about run it, but it's nice to have it.
The last thing I have to say about this, it lets green play on a different axis almost, being able to flash things in on your opponent's turn. That's what I really like about this card. But we'll go ahead and go on to the next one. I'll have Mr. Waffles talk about that one.
Yeah. Next up, guys, we have Bramble Armor. It's going to be a 1 colorless and 1 green for a total of 2. It's an artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equip the creature gets +2/+1. Equip cost is going to be 4. So I'm going to say I do not like the fact the equip cost is 4. To me, that is a high behind total for what this card is only doing. I mean, it's basically just giving you +2/+1.
Yeah.
That is it. And I mean, yeah, you get to equip it onto something as soon as you play it that first time. But afterwards, if you want to take it off or that creature dies and you want to switch to something else, that cost of 4 is just not going to be worth it.
Maybe if it had an added-on effect, I just feel like with all the thorns and everything on this equipment, just as the art looks, you think it'd have something else in +2/+1. But
yeah.
I'm not really liking it.
It'd be cool if it gave it like Death Touch. Like if it had Death Touch to it, it would be nicer.
That would work.
I would think. But I don't know. Wizards of the Coast State, they have their funny ways about doing things. Moving on, guys, we have the Briar's Tracker. She's going to be 2 colors, 1 green. She's a human scout with vigilance. When she enters the battlefield, you get to investigate. As long as you control the token, Briar's Tracker gets +2/+0. So we're starting to see the investigate mechanic pop up a little more frequently in this RC. And I have to say, I've never been one to use investigate like that. It's been one of those mechanics I've always shied away from.
Well, it wasn't one that happened, or you didn't see it too often. It came in the last Innistrad set, actually. I don't mind it, especially if you have other cards that are dependent on having artifacts on the field or ways, it just gives you ways to draw more cards, even though it costs 2 mana. I actually pulled this card in one of the packs that I opened, which I don't ever pull many packs, but every time we do one of these, We go and buy some packs and
Oh,
pull.
we go buy some packs, my friend. We go get some
So,
packs for this.
but I really, really do like this card. I feel like it has a lot of value. I bet it will be seen playing in standard. A 3 mana, 2/3 that will become a 4/3 whenever it enters battlefield because you have a token, which of course is the clue token you'll get from Investigate, and it also has Vigilance. There's a lot of value in this card, and even if it dies, it replaces itself because you can draw a card.
Yeah, you can. You can draw a card off of it. It'll come down with a token out, and she'll be +2/+0. She's always gonna be a 4/4. Hopefully, it's not a bad card overall. I don't think I'll probably run it only because I just don't mess with Investigate too much. But I will say, with the Vigilance added on, and then the fact that she'll be a 4/4 is like quick as you put her out. I mean, she's going to be a good card, guys. For 3 costs, that's not bad. Moving on, we have Brood Weaver. He's going to be 3 colorless and 1 green. He has Reach as a spider. When it dies, create 1/2 green spider creature token with Reach. Okay, so the thing is, I love spiders, man. As far as just Magic goes, real life, forget that crap. But as far as Magic goes, I love seeing spiders being added in because I'm hoping we'll one day maybe get a very good legendary spider that we can, make a commander deck off of. But
there is a Jund-colored legendary spider, but I don't think it's that good.
It's not. It's not. It doesn't hold a par with some of these other commanders that you see out here. So I'm still kind of waiting and hoping they kind of change up the game and really put a good one out there. As far as Brood Weaver here goes, guys, he has Reach. I like Reach, but he's gonna be a 2/4. He's basically a replacement. If he dies, you get something in place in turn. So even if you lose him, you get something back, which is always a good thing. But I mean, it's also costing you 4 to play this guy. He's a good defender to an extent, and I mean, he will protect you as far as when it comes to those flyers, which I am gonna love. But I still don't think I would run him myself personally.
But imagine the value of him if he had Death Touch.
If he had Death Touch. And that's something we're starting to see kind of generally pop up is a lot of these green cards. I wish they had Death Touch. I feel like if they had Death Touch, the value would shoot up for a lot of these cards. Moving along, guys, we have Candlelight Cavalry. It's going to be 4 colors and 1 green. It's a human knight. Has Covenant. Beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, Candlelight Cavalry gains trample until the end of turn. On this night, the dog will fear us. I love that flavor taste. I pulled one of these in one of my Innistrad packs the other day. I'm telling you, if I can figure out a way to run it in a green deck or a green variant type deck, I think I might just put it in there because we're talking about a 5-cost, 5-drop that's literally going to have trample if you can pull off this cover mechanic. That's good. That's a good card, guys. Because, I mean, trample can be an insane mechanic against a lot of people at the table if you know how to play it right. What do you think, man?
I mean, I like it. I mean, already playing this Cavalier creature here, you already have 1 creature that has a power 5/5.
Yeah.
So now you only need 2 creatures that have a different power. So, I mean, it's not that hard to get Coven. You just need 2 other creatures that you might have played at different costs. Mm-hmm. So, then, of course, they'd have different powers. A 1/1 and 2/2. There you go. Now you got Coven.
Yeah, you got Coven. Fully active. Ready to ride. I definitely think Candlelight Cavalry for you guys who are playing green, I think it'll be a nice addition. Even in a wolf deck, it still worked well if you were going to do wolf tribal. I still think about adding this in because that trample is going to be amazing, especially if it's a 5/5. Moving on, guys, we have Clear Shot. It's going to be 2 colors, 1 green. It's an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So, this is the card. We've seen cards like this before in the past, though, that popped up, I will say.
Just like fight cards.
Yeah, very familiar fight card right here, guys. I mean, the whole ability to be able to engage and hopefully take out an opponent's creature outside of the combat phase is always a good thing. It's a quick way to get rid of, cards that have been causing you problems that, you just can't deal with during the combat phase, and especially since your opponent's able to choose which creatures are going to block and which ones aren't. This is a quick way to go ahead and take some of those ones he don't want to put on the front line out. But I like the fact it gives it +1/+1. It's a 3 cost. It's not a bad quick instant to run. It's really not. I like
especially if you're running high power creatures.
Oh yeah, especially if you're running high power creatures. I think it's a good card. Moving on, we have Consuming Blob. It's going to be 3 colorless and 2 green. It's an oops. Don't see too many of those.
So something I actually want to tell you is something I've considered before because I have seen a legendary ooze before, and I was so tempted to make a
Ooze
Primal
deck.
deck, but there's just not enough of them.
There are not a lot of ooze cards out there. I'm gonna let you know they are far and few in between. But as far as this one goes, he has consuming blob's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. At the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to the number +1. So a lot of text for this card, and it seems to be that it's basically being able to create some tokens and replicate itself, which is kind of common, at least for the idea of how ooze works. So I think that I like it. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little crazy as far as
It's quite interesting that this is a 5-drop threat, but if they do not respond to it as soon as you play it, it's going to be a much bigger problem.
It is going to be a much bigger problem. It's one of those cards where definitely if it hits the board, it's either deal with it now or face dealing with, something that could be potentially a game ender later on if you don't control it. So, I mean, I like the idea that its power equal to the number of card types in your graveyard. So basically, if you have a full graveyard going on with different card types, then Homeboy can get pretty big. He can get pretty big pretty quick. He's not a bad card to run. I'm surprised to actually see a ooze creature in this Innistrad set, to tell you the truth. I mean, you just don't see oozes like that. Consuming Blob, though, guys, might be one to pick up. I hope I pull that sucker, though. If I pull it, I'll be happy. Moving on, we have Contorted Stroop. It's going to be X and 1 green. It says when it enters the battlefield, X +1/1 counters on it. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control as long as Coven is active. So
I like this a lot for the Coven ability, due to the fact that you can pick and choose the power you want this creature to be at. If you have 2 other creatures, okay, one's 1, one's whatever, and okay, well, I'll pay this one to be this power and toughness. Now we have Coven activated.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you can keep Coven activated because you're messing with counters on troops. You have to be mindful. You make sure that you don't, if you have 3 troops, you don't have 2 of them at the same power. But you can keep changing their power
that way
to ensure that you have it.
Is active. Yeah. So with this Coven mechanic, it's definitely gonna be. I will say this: it's definitely gonna be an easy mechanic to pop off with. I will say that. Like, it's definitely gonna be easy to keep this card, going, because just the fact that we can pretty much activate Coven pretty quick once you get those 3 creatures out. It's not gonna be hard. Moving on, guys, we have Donhart Mentor. He's gonna be 2 colors, 1 green. She's a human warlock. When she enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human creature token. When Coven is active, 5 colorless and 1 green. Target creature you control gets +3/+3 and gains trample until the end of turn. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, even with her Coven ability, in my opinion, guys, is not that great.
No.
The cost is too high. You're literally paying 6 just to give something +3/+3. I mean, literally, we passed instant cards, prior that can give your creatures, close to +3/+3, if not the same thing. I just don't feel like it's not worth paying 6 mana for when you can drop 6 mana into something else that gives way more value. I do like the fact when she enters the battlefield, though, you do get 1/1 white human creature token. So literally, you're paying 3 for 2 creatures, basically. As soon as they
2 different power creatures.
Yes, which is 1 step closer to activating Coven. Moving on, guys, we have Donhart Rejuvenator. It's going to be 3 colors and 1 green human warlock. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. It has a tap ability which says add 1 mana of any color. Guys, I pulled this card the other day in one of my booster packs, and even managed to get a full art design of it. I like this card, but I have to say, even with the full art design, I still like the original design better. I don't know why. It just looks cooler to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because it just got that whole, Forest Warlock effect. As far as the card itself goes, I like it only because it's a mana tapper. But, you also gain 3 life off of it. I've always thought about building one of the green and black decks from Strixhaven that had the one where if you gain life, I think your opponents lose a little bit. I forgot her name. But this would definitely be a card that you could add to that deck because, I mean, you literally gain life as soon as he enters the battlefield. And then, of course, afterwards, if you needed to tap for mana because, you just need the extra bump in ramp, you can always use it for that, too. I mean, hey, make it work either way.
Yeah.
Moving on, guys, we have Defend the Celestials. It's going to be 2 colorless and 2 green. It's an instant distribute 3+1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. Very simple card, but can work pretty well as far as activating Coven goes. Actually
it
makes
really
the
does.
play off, too, of that previous card, the Contorted Troop, too, because that's more counters on it if you really need it.
That's pretty interesting.
Just a quick little card. Not a bad card, guys. I would definitely say if you're going to be running a lot of counters in your deck, especially if you're going to be one of those hardened scales people that, cares about them counters, this is definitely a card that will fit well in there. Moving on, we have Dryad's Revival. It's going to be 2 colors and 1 green. It's a sorcery. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. It has a flashback of 4 colors and 1 green. What you think about this one, Mike?
As far as
why do you sound so bored about it? It's like,
I mean, of course, it's a way to continuously get threats back. But as far as playing it in a 60 card deck, I probably wouldn't. Or if I did, it might be a one of. It wouldn't. I wouldn't play 4 for no reason.
Oh no. I will say I like the art though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our boy 7, so I mean, that's kind of cool.
Which we haven't covered him yet.
And well, I'm sure he's coming along. Next up, guys, we have Duel for Dominance. It's going to be 1 color and 1 green. It's an instant since it has Coven. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, put a 1/1 counter on the chosen creature you control. Then the chosen creatures fight each other. So this is another fight card we got here, man. But the only difference is this one's going to give your creature a 1/1 counter. Hopefully that extra boost, that uptick, to win that fight that he's going up against, as long as Coven is activated, though.
No, I like, yeah, true. Coven does have to be activated, but I do like this card more than the 3 mana version.
Yes, I will say this one's kind of a little bit better than that one. It's also just a 2 cost too to activate it compared to the previous one, so you're getting less.
This is instant speed. I think the other one was sorcery. I could be mistaken.
Yeah. Moving on, guys, we have Eccentric Farmer. It's going to be 2 colors, 1 green, human peasant. When Eccentric Farmer enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. So if you're running one of those, land to graveyard, land back out to land, this might be one of those cards you can look into putting in. Guys, if you're going to be running one of those land-heavy transfer type decks, I don't know. I don't know if I really like it that much, though. I don't know if I really like it. What do you think?
I mean, if you want things in the graveyard to either activate some kind of ability, I mean, it helps to ooze out. It will help zombie things out. If you're going if you splash green in for some reason, I mean, there's different things of why you want to mill cards while also having the ability to get land back, because that is value at the same time.
It is. Moving on, guys, we have Harvest Tide Sentry. Going to be 1 colorless, 1 green, human warrior. It has Coven at the beginning of combat. On your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, Harvest Tide Sentry can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. So I will say I like this card because it's a get around card. As long as it can be unblockable depending on what's on the battlefield. Good for early game, I'd say, because most time early game, most people are playing low, power creatures at the beginning, so this could be a good card to kind of start out that swinging procedure and kind of get the ball rolling, even though you might have some of those people on the table who are very passive in play. This is one way to get them out of the shell, guys. What do you think, RC?
I agree with you very much on that. And it seems like the more we go over green, the more green identifies with the Coven ability. I mean, yes, we've gone over other colors that have Coven.
Yeah.
But it's like every card
has Coven. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, White was bolstering it hard when we first started the reviews, but even still, like, White didn't have Coven going this strong. Not in every single card. Like green is becoming, dependent on the action of it. Moving on, guys, we have Howl of the Hunt. It's going to be 2 colors, 1 green, enchantment or a flash. Enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, enchanted creature is a wolf or werewolf. Untap that creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and vigilance. So definitely, from the sounds of it, they want you to run this in a werewolf deck. Most definitely. With that added bonus of being, you can untap it. Very very basic aura enhancement card. Not really too much going on
Plus
here.
+2 vigilance.
Yeah, +2/+2 vigilance.
You're playing at instant speed due to flash, and you do get to untap the creature you might have already attacked with. So giving him a power bonus and defense bonus, vigilance, untapping him, catching someone off guard for sure.
Most definitely catching somebody off guard for sure. I also like the artwork on this card. It looks kind of cool. Definitely looks kind of cool. Moving on, guys, we have Might of the Old Ways. It's going to be 1 color, so 1 green. Instant says target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Also says Coven. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, draw a card. I like this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I like this. I mean, great. Gotta get +2/+2, which I'm going to tell you, I'm going to use it like a trap card. You swing on me, I'm going to block. I'm going to give my creature +2/+2 so it can kill yours if you kill mine. But the fact is, if I have Coven activated, I get to draw a free card off of that.
That's nice.
That is nice. That's double the value, my friend. Hey, I can roll with that. RC, I can roll with that. I like Might of the Old Ways. That's a cool card. Moving on, we have Path to the Festival. It's going to be 2 colors and 1 green. Sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card. Put that card in the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle. Then if there are 3 or more basic land types among lands you control, scry 1. Also has a flashback of 4 colors to 1 green. So this is, of course, a fetch sorcery card. Let's go in and search for some lands in case you guys need them, whether to recover or to ramp up. But also it has the added benefit that, you know, if there are 3 or more different types among lands you control, you can scry 1. So, of course, scrying 1 is always a good thing. Always good to know what you get next before you get it, in my opinion. As a flashback cost, though, 5. I don't know if I would pop that off, but I mean, you know, for you guys who just still need that added boost of ramping, I guess it is one way you could go. You got anything to say about that, my partner?
I pulled a foil one.
And just like that, I hate you. Moving on. Moving on, we have Pistol Wolf. It's going to be 1 colorless, 1 green. It says 2 colors and a green. It gains Death Touch until end of turn. So why? Wizards, why couldn't you just give it Death Touch naturally? Why do I have to pay 3 to give it Death Touch? You should have just given it to it naturally. That's all I want. I just want a common wolf with Death Touch in it. Guys, that's my only complaint. I don't want to pay 3 to give it Death Touch when I feel like it should have it to begin with.
So this is basically a 2-mana 2/2.
It is. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it's for. So that's it. Moving on, we have Plummet. It's going to be 1 colorless, 1 green, instant destroy target creature with flying. We have seen countless number of these in different iterations.
I believe Plummet is a reprint. I think I remember a card named Plummet already.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those cards we've seen in prior sets that has the same, same card effect. Moving on, guys, we have Primal Adversary. It's going to be 2 colors, 1 green. It's going to be a wolf with trample. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 colorless and a green any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many counters on Primal Adversary. Then up to that many target lands you control become 3/3 wolf creatures with haste or steal lands. Dude, this is a lot for a 3 mana cost card. Like, this is a hell of a wolf.
You know what? I like it, but at the same time, it works against itself.
Explain.
Because you want a lot of 3/3 wolves, right?
Yeah.
So you have to put a lot of mana in. Well, now your lands are tapped.
Yeah.
So even though you made them a 3/3, they're now tapped. Does it say untap?
No. It don't.
But they have haze, but they're tapped.
It don't.
So I guess there are as many times, whenever you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many counters on it, then put up to that many lands you control become. So at least next turn, they're still wolves. But if you're going for a big dump, I mean, you're still going to you're making tap wolves with haste.
I'm just saying.
But just the value of doing 5 and making a 3/3 along with a 5/4, that's pretty valuable.
I'm just saying. I'm paying 3 to get me a 4/3 wolf with trample. And then I'm about to dump maybe like 2 more mana in to put another counter, make him a 5/5 and get me a 3/3 wolf. I'm just saying I'm gonna have a leader of the pack, and then I'm gonna have me a pack of wolves. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm seeing off this. All right.
So
damn them lands. I'll tap them, come mile and tap step. I'll get them back.
So we have Return to Nature. We've seen this card before. Choose one, destroy target artifact, or destroy target enchantment, or exile target card from the graveyard. Lots of value, usually enough a sideboard card, so we won't spend too much time of it. Next, we have Rise of the Ants. And it's a 6 mana, create 2/3/3 green insect creature tokens. You gain 2 life, and then it has a flashback for 8. What do you think about this?
Dude, it's Rise of the Ants. It's Rise of the Ants. I mean, look. Okay. I will say, guys. It's a large
Trash.
cost. It's
Trash.
it is definitely not worth its weight of what it's giving out. It's not worth it. It's not.
Yeah, you get 6 mana for 6 power and then 2 life, but okay.
You don't like
Then
ants,
your opponent's gonna play a 6-drop that can just block and kill
Oh
anything you
my
want.
god!
Or any. I mean, there's so much more you could have there.
There is so much more you can have, guys. I won't deny. And I'm sorry, that flashback cost is absolute retard. It's stupid. Don't pass this card. Cool name though. I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome name.
I really like this one.
Moving on, guys. We have Sarah the Viper's Fang. It's gonna be 2 colors and 2 green legendary creature. Ooh. Other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. Then it says 1 color is tap, untap another target creature or land you control. Hey, what are you just talking about me tapping on my wolves a few minutes ago? Tapping on my lands, making on my wolves. Well, how about I play her then? I tap 1 and untap my other. How about I do that? How about I do
Well,
that?
she doesn't have haste.
Just gotta mess up everything for me.
She has already been played. Regardless, I do really like her abilities here, and I saw her and thought she was really, really cool. So every one of your attacking creatures will now have Death Touch.
Yeah, which is what we've been wanting the whole time.
Everything else will be safe.
Everything else will be safe. And we've been wanting Death Touch for a lot of these creatures the whole time. She's an awesome card. I don't think she'll be sick. I don't know if they would play her as a core. You think she would be played as a core commander?
I thought about it. But I like playing those really weird commanders when I'm not playing something like CDH.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But her ability is quite interesting since she's able to save something. If they target something with a kill spell or a removal spell, she can untap the land land sure, but your land won't get hexproof. But your creature will gain hexproof if they targeted your creature.
Not bad, guys. It's not bad. It really isn't. I guess I will say, is it just going to be for other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch? So if they're untapped, do they still keep Death Touch, or are they going to lose it?
Well, when they're untapped, they don't have it. It's when they're tapping, or when they're attacking, you have to tap them, right? So when they're tapped and attacking, they gain Death Touch.
Well, if that's the case, my friend, I will say,
much
guys,
better offensively.
Very good offensively, but I will say this: a nice card to add in to partner with her up in this deck will probably be that dwarf that was released back there in Kaldheim, the one that gives off poison counters to creatures that have Death Touch. That could be a deadly combination, guys. You could end out some games pretty quick.
They had partner.
If only they had partner. Moving on, guys, we have Shadow Beast Sighting. It's going to be 3 colors and 1 green sorcery. Create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Has a flashback of 6 colors and 1 green for a total of 7. So you basically are paying 4.
It's better than the Ant card.
You just hate.
Yeah, honestly though, I mean, Kate. So you can't listen. So I cast this on turn 4. Okay, so I'm able to hit you twice by then. You cast your Ant thing on turn 6, so I've already hit you for 8 damage. So you gain 2 life back. So you're at 6 still. You could possibly double block, but who wants to double block? That's bullshit. And then
all I'm saying is I'm gaining 2 of my life back.
Listen, you're still down 6 though.
Well.
And then I can flash back my guy back before you can flash back. So I can block both of your 3/3s, kill both of them. Now I'm sitting there with 8 power on the board.
Okay, look, you made your point. Shadow Beast Sighting.
You want to gain 2 more life? I'll let you.
I like my life gain. All right, I like my life gain. Moving on, guys, we have Snarling Wolf.
This is why I let you sit in this chair.
It's going to be 1 color and 1 green. He gets +2/+2 and then turn up. In the turn. Activate only once each turn. So, guys, this is going to be a 1-drop, 1/1 wolf, pretty much.
I like it. Very early on your curve. If you do not have a 2 mana spell, well, now you have something to use.
You do. You
have,
pretty much
you can
do.
drop mana into them every turn. I mean, it's a 3/3. I mean, a 3/3 on turn 2. I mean, what do you really have that you can play that can stop that early on?
Pretty much. You don't. Not really. It's good early game, guys. Very good early game. This would be a great card that, start your game off with. Tell you the truth. Drop that 1/4 down, tap that Snug, get a Snarling Wolf out, and then next turn you can go ahead, tap 2 green. If you're not ramping, and swing out at one of your opponents and hit them for 3. They're not going to be happy about it, but hey, that's how the game's played, my friend. Moving on, we have Storm the Festival. It's going to be 3 colors, 3 greens, says sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put up to 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Has a flashback of 7 colors and 3 green. Guys, I pulled one of these in one of my packs the other day, and I have to say, it's not a bad card. It's not a
You
bad
see,
card.
with my luck, though, I would pull the top 5 cards would be 3 lands, a 6 drop, and a 1.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, my luck would be pretty crap too if I draw. That's the only thing. I like it, but I'm just saying, knowing my luck, it wouldn't work out the way I would want it to work out.
It's not very dependable.
It's not. It's the luck of the draw, all of the cards, my friend. Moving on, guys, we have tapping at the window. It's going to be 1 color, 1 green. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. Has a flashback of 2 colors and a green. So this is going to definitely be one of those scry type cards.
Well, it's more like a mill.
Yeah.
Stealth mill. You'll see that in green, Gagari type color, green black.
So definitely, if you're playing green black, it might be a card you might want to look into. Maybe.
I think it's priced correctly though. 2 and then 3 for the flashback. I like that.
Oh yeah, definitely like the low cost of it. Moving along, guys, we have Timberland Guide. He's going to be a 1 color, 1 green. When he enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So he's a very basic guy, gets on the battlefield, gives a creature a 1/1 counter. Hopefully, he might be a quick way to go ahead and activate Coven, to tell you the truth, get it started up. Because, I mean, at that point, you're going to have 2 creatures on the field with 2 different powers just from him coming in. All you need is a 3rd. That's it. Moving on after that, though, we have Turn the Earth. It's going to be 1 green. It says instant. Choose up to 3 target cards in your graveyard. The owner of those cards, shuffle them into their libraries. You gain 2 life. Has a flashback cost of 1 color, 1 green. So this is a good card just as far as, pulling something out of your graveyard, putting it back in your deck in hopes of, redrawing it.
I have other cards to talk in tandem with this almost, but we have to get to them first.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say. So with Unnatural Growth, it is 1 mana and then 4 green.
Ooh,
heavy on the mana.
That's a heavy toll right there. Especially for specific mana. That's a heavy toll.
Yeah. Like, maybe if it was split, it'd be a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, then it puts you in 2 colors.
Give me 3 colors and 2 green. Why you want so many of my paws? Anyway.
So at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Each creature.
Woo!
That is all. Every trample creature. Your 5/5 trample just came with 10/10.
Okay, look, so I'll take it all back. I'll give them 4 falls if that's gonna be the case.
But we might be playing all green though. Green.
Look. All I say it is, all these wolves we done seen up in here today, new. This is a great damn card.
It's a very good card, and I see this being played in Commander. Do you agree?
Oh, hell yeah. This is definitely coming out in Commander.
It's quite interesting.
If anybody you're playing at your group table is rocking a werewolf deck this time of year.
If anyone's playing a mono green deck and you're not running
yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. It's going to definitely be one of those cards that's going to be a problem. If it hits the field, guys, you need to get this off of there. Take it out before it stays on there. Because ain't much you going to do each combat when you got 10-10s, 12-12s, and 14-14 swinging at it. Ain't much you going to do. My ants can't stand up to this type of pressure. Moving on, we have Willow Geist, guys. It's going to be a 1 green. It's going to be a Tree Folk Spirit. It has trample. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on Willow Geist. When Willow Geist dies, you gain life equal to its power. So I will say, I like the fact that if you buff him up high enough, when he dies,
So guys, this is the card I was waiting for. So think about this card. We can work with it. We can do this, okay? So we have Willow Geist. Every time a card leaves the graveyard, you put a counter on him.
Yeah.
Well, cards would like Turn the Earth. You choose up to 3 target cards from your graveyard. You shuffle them back in. They leave your graveyard, so he gets 3 counters. He go from a 1/1 to a 4/4. Okay, let's think of some other cards, like Tapping on the Window. putting more cards in.
That's another 3. It means
They both have flashback.
Oh, wow.
And there's more cards with green that even act more with that.
So he could definitely be highly reactive and become a big boy.
Think about this being a mono green color deck, and you throw a unnatural growth in there with it. So just think, okay, well that 4/4 for me just casting Turn the Earth with shuffling back in a couple cards that might have died or I might have used, being the fight cards, things like that. Well, now we just double them up to an 8/8. And we've only cast one spell. We didn't flashback. We didn't do nothing.
The way we talking right now, he might be a 10/10.
And cards like Tapping Wind just helps us find that card even more. So, cool. Okay.
So, yeah. just be worried, guys. That sucker might swing out to be a 20/20 if that unnatural growth is out there. Just be worried of that. So next on, we have the last card of the list. It's going to be red and 7. He's going to be a 3 colorless and 2 green Planeswalker. When he says, his +1 says, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all land cards revealed that way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. His 0 cost is going to be put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. His neg 3 is going to be create a green tree folk creature token with reach, and this creature's power and toughness are equal each to the number of lands you control. And his last neg 8 is going to be return all permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size.
So, also works in your mono green deck.
It does.
Okay. Puts cards in your graveyard.
It does.
And this might be a deck where we could actually use that card I spoke about earlier. I said we had no use for it, and we'll get cards back. So Willowgeist can be a constant threat unless it's exiled.
Unless he's exiled. Yeah. Guys.
Shit good.
I'm gonna tell you what to do. You killed that son of a bee without eating alive. That's what you do.
I got about the cards.
Before he gets too bad, you kill him with eating alive. That's what you need to do.
But I could definitely see this being a green black deck or mono green, just because if you want to play unnatural growth.
Oh yeah, most definitely, guys. This would definitely be definitely gonna be good in mono green. Definitely look into a lot of these cards for this set as far as mono green goes. Hopefully you'll pull some of them. I definitely have, and I've liked what I pulled so far. I hope I get to pull down.
I'm waiting to pull a Ren and 7.
Oh, you high bar aiming over there. Anyway, guys, that's the end of our review for the green set. We will be returning for the next few that we need to finish up with multicolored and with the Transformers. So
and artifacts.
And artifacts too. Not a lot of those in this set though, from the looks of it, I will say. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we will see you in the next video.
See ya.